Miss y'all. Thank you for being here on Clock In with Lynn. Hey, y'all. We're going to have a good time today, honey. Yes. Let me make sure my comments are on because, yes, they are on. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat, honey. Hey, happy Saturday on this beautiful, beautiful day. Well, it's raining here a little bit in Cali, which allowed me to sleep in. I was sleeping hard, y'all. It was just a lovely day to just get all that rest in. It was great. It was absolutely phenomenal. And yes, but I am here and you guys are going to love my lovely guest today. So we got a lot to chat about. What's going on out there? If you are here, please let me know where you are clocking in with Lynn at. Where you at? Hey, y'all. What is going on? Make sure everything is good. And listen, too. So if you are too shy to come on the show, but you have a question for me, I do have my email at the bottom. You can email some questions that I would love to answer here on this live platform. So yes, if you are a little too shy to come on, I have that option for you. Do not forget to go to YouTube and like, share, and subscribe to Clock In with Lynn. Thank you all the ones that have. You guys are awesome. I love all the support. You guys are just, let me tell you something. Just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful creatures. Also, if you are watching, always like as well as we are. Because listen, the more likes I get, the more shares I get, the more I can bring to you guys and give you guys a wonderful show that you guys want that be entertaining, y'all. Come on now, help a sister out now. So yes, please make sure you do that. Even if you want to share with others, please, by no means, go along. Let me make sure my volume is good. I'm gonna try to talk very loud because I don't have my mic, y'all, yet, but I will get one. I was just kind of confused on which mic to get. I have a lot of people that sent me different types of mics. So if you do have any ideas of what's a good mic for me to use, I would love to hear from you. Oh, I got my tea today, y'all. I'm doing me a little cleanse right now. Child, trying to get ready for the summer. How many of y'all out there trying to get ready for the summer? Yeah, y'all getting ready for the summer? Y'all watching what you eat? Y'all keeping it moving and grooving out here. Y'all like my curls? Do y'all like my curls? I got my curls. Child, I kind of do like my curls. Okay. I think she's here, y'all. I think she's here. Okay, listen. Now, friends, my next guest, she is a Houston Texan. She's a professional dancer. She's a former Laker girl, a former Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, y'all. She currently owns Fierce Factory Dance and Talent Studio in Houston, Texas. She's a mom. She's a wife. She is a boss, honey. So please help me welcome my friend, Dara Saray. Hey. Hey. Oh my God, you look so beautiful.
Thank you. So you look fabulous.
I love your hair. Okay, come on, dear. Come on.
How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hey, sweetie. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so good. I'm so good to see you. You too.
I miss you so much, honey.
I know.
So now let's just go on and get to it. So like I said, you were a Laker girl out here. That's when I met you doing your little thing, girl. Just showing up, single, boss lady, all of that. Then you moved to Houston. So tell us a little bit about that transition, moving to Houston. Are you originally from Houston?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Houston, and it wasn't really planned. I don't know if you remember that, for me to move home. I thought I was moving to Brazil, which would be way more exciting than Houston. And I thought I was moving to Brazil for a job, and things just fell through. So I ended up just being here in Houston with family, and things just kind of aligned the way that they did. I ended up marrying my best friend of years and years and years, and ended up opening up a studio with my sister, and just, I don't know, it's kind of, everything just kind of fell in place. So I've been here ever since.
That's what I was going to ask you. Okay, so you already knew. I was going to ask you, how did you meet your husband? So you knew him.
Yeah, we knew each other. So we met in 2011. Okay. And so at that time, I still lived in LA. I was still living my best life as a Laker girl and hanging out with you guys all the time. And I met him through a mutual friend one time when I went home to Houston to visit. And at the time, actually, we were both in relationships. And yeah, still in the tea.
While I sip on my tea.
Right. Let me get my tea. Yes, we were both in relationships. We did not tell each other that the day that we met.
Ooh, okay.
We just kind of chatted and exchanged numbers, and then we just talked a lot. And then eventually we did end up telling each other, like, hey, he was like, I have a girlfriend. I was like, great, I have a boyfriend. We'll just be cool, we'll be friends. And we did. We just maintained a friendship for those next, we didn't get engaged until 2015. Okay. And we didn't even really start dating officially until 8 months prior to getting engaged. So we were friends for a good 4 or 5 years before anything actually came out of it. So it worked. Nice. It was.
I love that. I love the whole, being friends first before you, get into a marriage. So how long have you guys been married?
We have been married 7 years.
7 years?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, this past December was 7 years for us.
Oh my God, you have 2 kids.
I do. I have 2 kids. You can see one behind me on my pictures. I need some new pictures.
How old are they?
So my oldest is about to be 4 in May. And then his name is Legend. And then we just had Titan in October. So he just turned 5 months.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So how was that transition going from that independent woman to going into marriage? How was that?
Hard. It's still hard. It is 7 years later. It's still really hard. My husband tells me all the time, he's like, I'm your husband. I can help you do that. That's what I'm here for. I can pick it up. I'm like, it's fine. I got it. I'm so bad about sometimes allowing him to do for me because I've always been independent, even just, in any relationship, I've always just been really independent, and that's who I was. And I don't need help because I can do it myself. And so it's an adjustment all the time, honestly. And I'm such a control freak too. So it's I don't always want help because I want to do it my way. So it's challenging. It is very challenging.
You've been able to let him lead more.
Yeah. I try when I'm thinking about it. Sometimes, it's just second nature for me to just do it myself. And I have been trying to be a little more conscientious of okay, wait, nope, let me take a step back. Let me let him do something. I need him to feel like he's needed, because I get that. I feel like men need that. They need to feel needed. They really do. So I'm getting better. Yeah. I think I'm getting better.
I'm sure you are. It's a day-to-day thing, child.
Exactly.
You're looking good doing it. So the $1 million question is, and all the women want to know, you're a woman, your mother, you're a wife, you're a business owner. can women have it all? Like, how do you balance that?
Honestly, like that's an everyday struggle for me. My saving grace and like my biggest blessing is that my parents live like 6 minutes from here.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And they're both retired. And so it works out a little bit better for us because me and my husband are both self-employed. So we can kind of finagle our schedules the way we need to. But on top of that, like, you know, I teach dance. So I typically don't have to go to work until later in the afternoons around like 4:00, 3:45. So I'm still with the kids pretty much during the day. And then my parents will come and like trade places with me or, you know, come take over for me, until Vic gets home. And then he kind of picks up the next shift. So it works because of our village, honestly, because without them, it would be a challenge. I wouldn't say it's impossible because I do think it's doable. I have plenty of friends with kids, some single moms that are killing it. And I'm like, I don't know what I would do.
And I love your parents. Your parents are awesome.
They're the best.
Your parents. Yes.
They're the best.
Yeah. How do you find like your time to yourself? Like doing all of that. Do you have time like for yourself? Do you get some me time?
I try to make time, honestly. Like it's something my dad talks to me about all the time. He's like, look, you know, time management is important. Like you make your time. If you want to make time, you can do it. And I've really just kind of stood by that. Like if I want to do it, I'm going to make time. If I want to go see my friends, I make time to see my friends. So I kind of now have been like, okay, nope, this is my time to myself. Sometimes my husband will come home and I'm like, I need 10 minutes. I just need you to give me 10 minutes. Take the kids. I'm going in the room. And even if it's 10 minutes just in my room by myself, it's the best 10 minutes of my life because it's quiet. No one's calling my name. But it is important. I mean, I didn't realize how important it really was until having the second baby. When I had my first child, it was COVID. It was May 2020. So it was like heart of COVID and everybody was at home. So it was like, you know, I had all the help in the world with a newborn because my parents were around 24/7. Nobody was going to work. Like, so life was easy then. I was able to go. I was like, I'm going to go for a run. Y'all watch the baby. Now, you know, it's so different because now I have 3.5-year-old, a newborn, trying to run after a toddler, but take care of a newborn, all the things. So this time mentally took way more of a toll on me than my first pregnancy. And I realized like, okay, I'm not finding that time for myself and I have to do it. So even if it was me just taking a walk, I would go take a walk. But again, my parents would step in. Even my dad would just call and check in like, hey, you want me to just come over? Like, you want me to come, you know, I'll take the baby so you can just go take a shower. Like, just,
I love it.
Yeah. So, but you have to find time. You have to, or you'll go crazy.
Absolutely. That's awesome having your parents there. And we do have, I know that a lot of women, they take on everything, like everything. Yeah. I know. So we do have someone that's asking Mahan. She has a question. She said, does your husband help with the children?
Yeah, he's really hands-on. So when he's around, Vic owns a truck hauling business. So he drives trucks. So his hours are crazy. Like, honestly, I don't know how we make this work because our hours are polar opposite. So like he leaves sometimes like 2 a.m. and I don't see him again until I get home from work. But he's so great even in that sense. Like he will literally basically get no sleep. He gets off work around like 4:30 p.m. Usually when I'm going, he'll go straight to my parents' house, pick up the kids, and he's like holding down the fort until I get home and no sleep. Yeah, he really does. He's amazing. I'm thankful for that. And even then my parents sometimes will be like, hey, Vic, like go home, like take a nap first. Like then come back to get the kids. Yeah. So, cause they recognize too, we're like burning the candles at both ends. It's just not, it's not feasible. So, but he is like, when he is around, he is hands-on. Even if it's just a short amount of time, he does the best he can to try and at least, lift the burden off of me, especially like when I get off work. Cause I'm typically not done with teaching and home until like 8:30, sometimes 9 p.m., which clearly is bedtime, or should be. We're still figuring that out around here, bedtime. But he's been so helpful now with both boys. Like, I'll give one a bath because, we have the baby. So I'm usually giving him a bath in the sink. He's giving the oldest a bath in our room. Like, we just tag team. We just do what we can.
That's wonderful. I love it. I love it. I love it. Y'all are making it work. It's so beautiful to see. It's so beautiful to see. And I know you were talking earlier about time management. Like, do y'all have date nights? How y'all keep it spicy over there, girl?
Ooh, we're trying. I will say that one has been a little bit harder, especially right now with me. So, our studio is a recreational dance studio as well as a competitive dance studio. And our competitive team is amazing. They have won many titles. And so with that, we travel a lot. And the heart of our season is right now. So literally from pretty much January till May, I'm gone almost every weekend at dance competitions. So it's been a little challenging right now to find the time to have dates. We sneak them in where we can. We just talked about it the other day where we're like, okay, we got to do better at either setting up once a month to start. I don't know. It should get easier next year because Legend is going to be in school next year. So I think that'll kind of free up my parents too. Because right now my parents watch the kids so much for us. We always hate on weekends to be like, hey, can you watch them again? It's a little bit challenging, but we make it work. Sometimes even it'll be like, hey, once we get the kids to bed, we're going to watch a movie. Even if that means we're both falling asleep, trying to stay awake. But it's time with each other, and that's the best we can really do.
Right. That's absolutely right. And that one saying that everybody says, I want to see what you think about that. Happy wife, happy life. What do you feel about that?
Yes. I don't know. There's some days I don't think my husband's caught on to that one yet. I love him to death. I really do. But I do agree with that because I feel like if you think about it, I feel like as a woman, we often control how our husband and other react. Because a lot of times their ultimate goal is they want to please us. And so I feel like when we're not happy and we're upset, it totally changes the trajectory of the atmosphere in the relationship or in the moment and whatever's going on. At least that's what I've learned in our relationship. I feel like when I'm upset, his whole demeanor changes. And it's funny, I tell him all the time, we go to a life group at our church. And this one girl was talking about how her husband will get mad because he stepped on her toe. And I'm like, that's my husband. He's mad because he did something to me. But the truth is he's mad because he upset me and he didn't want to. Right. But it took me a minute to try and figure out why are you mad? You stepped on my toe. I should be mad. Right. But it was deeper than that. It was he doesn't like to see me upset or disappoint me in any type of way. So then he didn't know how to just say I'm sorry. It was just I'm gonna just get mad too because you're mad. And I'm like, what? You can't get mad. That's so funny. But it's taken a lot of time for us to figure each other out in those types of ways and a lot of prayer.
I love it. I love me some Black love. Now I know you did grow up with both of your parents, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've been married 65 years.
I love it. And you watching them, and now it's your turn. Was marriage what you expected?
Yeah. I feel like my parents, though, were a true, they were very transparent with me and my sister in regards to what marriage was, and that it's not rainbows and unicorns and perfect. And we're definitely by no means perfect. And I don't want anybody who might be tuning into this and watching it thinking, because I'm saying, yeah, I can do it all. We make it work. We still have our challenges. We still fight. We still scream at each other sometimes. But my parents were honest from the jump, even when he and I got engaged. Do you guys know what you're getting into? And do you understand that this is going to be a constant battle to make it work? Because you're going to have so many things thrown at you from people and friends and just, different types of things that are going to come your way to try and basically, separate you. And, my parents have always said, when you're happy is when the devil is the busiest, because he comes to destroy things. And I would say that's very true. We've had our times where we're like, are we going to be able to do this? Because this is hard. Like, it is hard. But I think when you are both on the same page and you're both truly making that agreement to say, I'm going to fight for you every single day, and I'm going to pick you again every single day, then it's definitely possible. But I think both people have to be on the same page, because one person can't do it by themselves.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Did you, before you got married, did you have like that list that most women have, like all these qualifications that the man, they gotta have this, they gotta have that? Did you have that list?
No, I don't think so. I think because people always say that I don't have a type, which is so true. I feel like when I look back at like different relationships I had and things like that, I'm like, yeah, everybody was kind of different. Like, I think I've always been more about, just like energy and like, having the same values and things like that. And values was a big one for me. That's always been just probably the most important thing, are our values the same? Do they align? Because if not, it's not going to work. And that was just the biggest one. And for me with Vic, he's really like the polar opposite of me, which I felt like was perfect, because I feel like I've always been really wild and spicy and energetic and crazy. And he's like super calm and mellow. And like, he barely talks unless he's comfortable. And I just remember like when we actually first met, I literally told my friend that introduced us, I was like, I would never date him. He doesn't even talk. Like, he's too quiet. What's wrong with him? And I did. And I was like, and he wears dull colors all the time. Because every time I would see him, he'd always be in like black or like dark gray. And I'm always in like bright neon color. I like colors. And so it was like, he's dull. That's what I used to say. I would always say he was really dull. But no, I don't feel like I had like a real list outside of just, are our values the same? Having important conversations when I was dating, in terms of like, only if I was seriously dating somebody, in terms of like, what did they want when they were married? How many kids do you want? Things like that, because that's huge.
Right. Did you ever, how important is it for like religion? Was that a topic, or?
Yeah, that was definitely a topic for me. Because I grew up going to church. Right. In our family, we went to church. Faith came first, and it still does. And so that was always a really big one for me. And to be honest, like living in LA, that was hard, because I felt like the men in LA was like, I don't know, they believed in whatever the wind blew. Like,
and they still do. And they
still like, what? Like, what religion is that? That's not God. I don't know who that is, but okay. Let me run really fast the other way.
They'll follow anything out here. Like, what?
Oh.
They'll follow anything. That's so funny.
It's concerning.
So, no, and that's something that, and I feel like that's something that needs to be talked about, in the beginning. So what advice would you give to these young ladies that want to be married? Like, want to be married? Like, any advice or any tip first before they jump into it?
I would say don't be in a rush. Don't be in a rush. I feel like right now that's such a thing. It's like a craze to get married, because every girl wants to have the bachelorette party with their friends wearing the matching outfits. Like, I just feel like some women are rushing into it for the wrong reasons. Right. Not because they're truly in love and just want to be married. It's like they want all the hoopla that goes with it. And so I would just say, like, take your time. Like, take your time to get to know your significant other and get to know their family. Like, I feel like that's important. Like, you want to know them, go get to know their family, because you're going to really know who you're involved with and how they were raised. And, are there values that maybe they're telling you are their values? Are they really true? And I don't know, just taking your time, I think, would be my biggest one. And just not rushing, and making sure that you know yourself too. I think that's a big one. Because I feel like, as we get older, we change. And sometimes you could be with somebody for years just dating, and now you've changed who you are versus who you were when you first started dating that person. So I think it's always good to check in with yourself too, to see like, okay, do I still want these things? Like the things I said when I first started dating this person, are those still the things I want? You know, and does he still want them as well? I think that's a big one, but mine would definitely be just taking time, which is what we did. I feel like we took our time, and because we knew each other so well, you know, already, it was so easy to just like slide right into being like, yeah, like this is what we want to do. And like I said, he just balanced me out so perfectly. Like when I would get real fiery, he'd be like, all right, it's okay. Like, why are you so upset? And I'm like, you're right. Why am I so upset? So I do. My advice would be take your time, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons, and just don't lose yourself in the process of it.
I love that. And most of the married women that I have interviewed, like in these beautiful, wonderful, successful marriages, that's the first thing they always say. Like, you know, some of them even admitted that they did lose themselves. And, you know, it's a battle trying to figure out how to be that super mom, that super wife, and all of those things. And most of them are business women, and not lose themselves. So I think that's so important. Yeah, that's amazing. And do you remember any like one piece of advice that your mom gave you before you got married?
Not really. I mean, my parents knew Vic this whole time that we were friends, because when I would come home, one of the times I came home, he actually came and helped them move out of their house. And we were not dating yet. He just was a friend. Right. He was a friend with some really good muscles, and he had a lot of brothers with really big muscles. And I was like, hey, my family needs your help. And it's so funny. I just remember that day being like, he's the one. Like, this is the keeper right here. And literally, like, after that day, we were like inseparable. Like, it was just, but I don't feel like my mom's not really that personality. I mean, you've met my mom. She's really loud, but she can also be very silent at the same time. And I feel like her silence still goes a long way, if that makes any sense.
Oh my gosh, she's
she's crazy. She's wild.
You know, I love all that. I loved it. I was like, oh my gosh. I can just sit there and watch it. Like
you need to let her be on your podcast now.
I would love her to be on.
It's crazy.
Oh my God. I just remember, you know what I'm talking about, but she said something. Oh my God. I was like, oh my God.
You don't ever know what's going to come out of her mouth.
No, and I think it was just like, oh my God, it was great. I love that. Love that. So how has it been just being back in Houston? Just you?
Good.
Do you miss LA at all?
Oh yeah, so much. Oh yes. I don't think, had the opportunity come about for me to go to Brazil, never have come, I wouldn't have moved. At least it was not on my radar in my plans. So that was for a long time, I struggled with that. Like when all of that first kind of just fell by the wayside, I struggled with being like, oh my God, I'm here. Like to be honest, I tell people this all the time. I have never liked Houston. I lived in Dallas first, and I love Dallas even more than I love Houston still to this day.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it's still home. Like I love that my family's close, and you know, our friends are here, and I mean, we've established so many new relationships too. So, I mean, it is what it is. I just don't find Houston to be that exciting. Yeah. And the weather sucks.
And I have family in Houston too. So, but I think that's one thing, living in LA, I think that's one thing that I wish I could have all my family in LA, you know?
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we toss up a lot, like, you know, would we move? Because so before the kids, we would make it a point to come out to LA at least like once a year to just come back, because my sister-in-law, Vic's sister, lives in LA. She does stand-up comedy out there. So yeah, she's really funny too. I'll have to send you her information. But
definitely.
Yeah, she we try and go see her or my cousins that I used to live with, and we usually do quick trips, but every time we would leave, I'd be like, I don't want to leave. So bad. So we toss up, like, you know, would we move back there? Would we move to Dallas? Because we both really like Dallas. But it's hard because it's like, but we would not have the support and the help that we have here. if we
Right.
moved. It would be so much more challenging to do. And the cost of living here, I'm like, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah. And it's crazy now. You know, I'm in real estate now. It's like crazy.
Yeah, that's wild out there. That's just
It's not even believable sometimes when I see
No.
things. I'm like, how is this house $5 million and it has spider webs everywhere? And I'm like, it's
Right.
crazy. And it's old and it's crazy, but it's $5 million. Like, it's crazy.
yeah, that blows my mind.
Before I ask you the last question, do you want to have more children?
Ooh. Let me put it like this. If I could guarantee that my last child would be a girl, my answer would be yes. But am I willing to gamble? I really don't know yet. Vic has 7 brothers, 8, maybe 8. He's a lot of brothers and 2 sisters.
Wow.
One sister is only a half sister. So even that for me is like, am I really going to get that gene? Like,
Right. Wow.
So our chances of having a girl are honestly just so slim. I love my boys. That sounds so bad. I love my boys, but I've always really wanted a girl.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel,
You never know.
I don't know. I feel incomplete, but I don't know that I want to gamble again.
Be 3 boys and 1 girl. That's hilarious.
I mean, 2 boys right now is a lot. And I mean, 2 kids, period, honestly, is a lot of work. And
Yeah.
Vic and I have always said, like, one of the things we said from the beginning, because we both agreed we for sure wanted 2 kids because we didn't want to have an only child. We never really put like a cap on it. Well, maybe. I feel like we both said, like, no way would we ever do more than 4. But I just think the one thing we agreed on was if financially we weren't going to be in a place to make sure we could provide for all of these kids in a way they deserve, then I'm not doing that. And I feel bigger about that now, especially owning a dance studio. And I'll never forget, we had this one mom who she had, I think, 5 kids. And one of her daughters was on our dance team. And the girl was really good. She had a lot of potential. She was only 12 at the time. And the mom pulled her. And she was like, oh, well, I have to pull her because next year it's the other sibling's turn to do a sport. And I just remember thinking, like, oh my gosh, how heartbreaking, because how are any of your kids ever going to truly get good at something if you're constantly only giving them 1 year each to like circle around? And we ended up trying to scholarship the little girl the next year so that she could still dance, but for free, so that her mom could still do whatever obligation she had for one of the other children. Just trying to help, because I just thought that was so sad. And so it was one of the biggest things. I was like, I don't ever want any of my kids to have to basically sacrifice for another sibling. And I know, there's families out there, that's what it is, and they make it work, and kudos to you. I just personally, I couldn't do it. Because I didn't grow up like that. My sister and I, like, whatever we wanted to do, our parents fully invested in it. If they didn't have the means, they'd say, hey, look, maybe not right now, but we're going to look into it. We're going to make it happen. And so we were never told no like that, to go after our dreams and our goals.
Right.
So I don't want to be in that kind of a situation. We're good right now. Like, we're good. We got 2 kids. We're doing well. I don't want to rock the boat too much.
I love it. That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. Given that. That's awesome. So yes, I have truly enjoyed you.
Aww.
Is there anything else that we need to look out for? You want to give a shout out of your business again?
I mean, if you're in the Houston area or you live in Houston, have family in Houston, I have the best dance studio. It's Fierce Factory Dance and Talent. We take ages 3 all the way to 18. And 3? I would love to see you. Yeah, 3.
Wow.
Babies. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just out of curiosity, when did you start dancing?
I actually started late in comparison to what was considered normal. I started, how old was I? I was in like 2nd grade, so I had to have been like 7 or 8, I guess.
Got it.
Yeah, which was late. Like, most kids do typically start at like 2. Some kids start at 2 years old.
Okay. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, the dance world's crazy.
Oh my God. You have to give your mom a big hug for me.
I will. She's going to be jealous.
Being here, I know you are busy, girl. You are busy, honey.
Yes.
Well, thanks again. You are just amazing. and
Thank
have a
you.
beautiful day, girl.
Thank you. You too. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. You are amazing. I love it.
Thank you.
Bye, beautiful.
Bye.
I told y'all she was going to be amazing. She's just a lovely spirit. And it really shows me, like, and you saw like the title of the show is Ladies, Can You Have It All? Yes, it is hard. Yes, it is challenging. But if you work at it and you want it, you can do it, ladies. And have that support. Like she said, she had that village. Even if it's not just your blood relatives or your family, find a village, find other women, friends that could help. And that way you can really make your mark in this world. And I love it. That was just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Dara, she's just so amazing. So yes, and I appreciate everyone being on here. It will also be on YouTube as well, the replays and everything like that. And I'm just grateful for each and every one of you guys for tuning in, staying supportive, and all of that good stuff. I wish all of you well. Be good to yourself. Be kind to yourself. All of that. And I will see you with my next guest. Okay? Love you. Thanks for clocking with Lynn, friends. Thank you for being here. Bye.